Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. Could Joe Biden send silver soaring? Let's explore. That is the question that is sort of a part two of a previous video I did about what Goldman Sachs has been saying, that we should get silver because of solar energy. We talked a little bit about that, but this article kind of goes into a little bit more in depth from Zero Hedge, and this was shared with me by Steve Gerard. And so fascinating indeed. It says one of the key market dynamics over the past few months has seen traders seeking to best positions their portfolios for the outcome of the presidential election, where we have seen a tug of war between tech stocks, a bet on continued deflationary forces and lower yields on one hand, and a small cap value names which have seen some modest outperformance in recent days, as a Biden victory has become synonymous with reflation and stock market upside, with Goldman speculating that as much as $7 trillion of new fiscal stimulus may be unleashed, despite some $4 trillion in tax hikes on deck, including both corporate and capital gains tax increases. But while the broader reflation versus deflation trade has been widely discussed on Zero Hedge and elsewhere, one more targeted trade that has been seen less coverage in the media has been the divergence between the legacy energy sector, represented by the S&P energy sector, and most easily observed by the continued slide in such energy titans as Exxon and Chevron, and clean energy. The thesis is simple. A Biden administration will seek to punish dirty energy names while encouraging green or solar energy development. And a quick look into the recent underperformance in legacy energy versus the TAN solar ETF shows just how divergent positions in the trade has been since early June. So then we can see TAN solar is up and S&P energy sector is flat to down. What is particularly notable about the divergence is that it again appears to be a function of Robinhood exuberance. As Bloomberg's ETF Eric Bolchunas writes, TAN has become the Robinhood crowd's new plaything, as evidenced by the shattering its weekly volumes, with $1 billion tops 2% of all ETFs. And so there it is showing that. Look there. And it's not just record volumes, but record inflows too, with ETFs AUM now over $2 billion following several weeks of nonstop inflows. As Bolchunas further notes, while TAN is up over 230% since March, making one of the best performance ETFs of 2020, and is now getting extra kick from potential blue wave, which equals green energy spend hopes. It is now down 67% since the inception, so lots more upside here. Make no mistake, Biden's plan is a basically rebranding of the new Green Deal, which is essentially a compromise with the Bernie Sanders folks in order to gain support from his followers and the like, with major players advising Joe Biden's campaign that were in favor of this new Green Deal. Solar stocks are in a virtuous category whose inflows also count towards ESG assets, which is so SocGen's Andrew Lapthorne recently showed has become dominant factor for capital inflows. This kind of goes into some of that performance that has been occurring in these markets, kind of giving some clue, an indicator of what is to come, especially with recent polling in some of these battleground states. Goldman's Mikhail Sprogis explains, with global infrastructure stimulus tilting towards renewables, and solar in particular, silver stands out in the metal space as the obvious beneficiary. Solar investment accounts for around 18% of silver industrial demand, or 10% of silver total demand, as we covered in the prior video, prior video. As a reminder, previously Goldman, we argued that bullish exposure to solar is an important component in the bank's $30 an ounce target, in addition to sharply higher gold prices through currency debasement. Below, we represent one more thoughts from Goldman as to why the continued green frenzy could send silver sharply higher. There's a base case that global solar installations will increase by 50% between 2019 and 2023 as the greenification trend accelerates. Importantly, there are potential upsides even to this ambitious target. Former U.S. Vice President Biden has proposed a plan which involves installing 500 million solar panels in the U.S. alone over the next 5 years. Our equity analysts estimate that this could boost installation of U.S. capacity from 15 gigawatts per year to 30 gigawatts. This represents a boost of almost 15% to global solar installations. Importantly, our Chinese clean energy team sees potential upside to Chinese solar panel installations in the new 5-year plan. In their view, the Chinese installation could reach 93 gigawatts per year versus the current figure of 50. This would represent a 40% boost to global installation. The expected surge of solar installations for Goldman's two cases, base and bull, is shown below. So even the base is an upward trajectory here. It's just the bull case with the Biden administration will exacerbate that climb. This aggressive expansion of solar facilities could mean far more demand for silver, and sure enough, Goldman's calculates that silver demand should see decent growth in the next 5 years, although this could be significantly boosted should the Chinese and Biden-driven renewable acceleration happen. All in all, Goldman concludes that over the next 3 years, solar should boost silver total industrial demand by 2% in the base case and by 9% in the bull case. And then it talks about how the silver solar demand has been a key price catalyst. It also happened in 2016 and 2017. I had my solar panels installed in 2015. We saw that go up. There has been tax incentive to do this as well. And it more likely will probably implement some of that as well too for solar installations. But more than likely it does mean for silver prices, when we look at all of this information that we're looking at from the charts and where the demand has been and where it will be, according to the bank, in the event that both Biden and China policy-driven solar acceleration do materialize, Goldman's model points to a 9.3% boost to its silver target. In addition, solar is top of mind for most silver investors, and as such, any news flows that could be positive for silver, such as a Biden victory, could generate a rotation into the metal. Bottom line, Goldman once again goes long silver, expecting the precious metal to hit $30 in the coming months. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility at all, for sure. Earlier this year, we initiated a long silver trade recommendation and then closed out after silver prices rallied by 50%, briefly touching our $30 per troy ounce target. Now with silver at $24 per troy ounce and a few potential upward solar surprises in the coming months, we reopen that trade. Goldman's target may be conservative. One look at the chart of tan versus silver shows that if and when tan's momentum migrates to silver, $30 per troy ounce may just be the start. All right, very interesting indeed. And they're not even talking about the economic policies of a Biden administration that are going to be bullish for silver. So I believe that will be happening indeed if we do see it occur, because the Biden administration will be notably more Keynesian in their approach, more regulation, higher taxes, which are going to squelch the economy, and more liquidity from the Federal Reserve. Quantitative easing to infinity will continue, devaluation of the dollar, and so forth. More government intervention is going to probably play a role where they have these spikes in maybe the stock market and other areas of the economy, brief injections of this type of thing, and then it'll just fall away, and silver price will go up, and gold as well too. So I think, yes, I think Biden will certainly send silver soaring. Post your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.